What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be a shorter video to help you get more consistent at attack canceling. Attack canceling is necessary for some characters to nail kill confirms, optimize follow-ups, and to combo. It can be pretty hard to do as you only have a couple frames to get the right input, and when you first start you may get frustrated because you don't really know what you're doing wrong. I'm not going to get into all the benefits and why you should learn attack canceling, since there's already a ton of videos on it, but I'm going to try and help you get more consistent at it. So the first thing is that if you haven't already, to map your C-stick to a tilt and one of your shoulder buttons to jump. The reason being is that you need to jump within a few frames after inputting a tilt, and having to go from C-stick to X or Y is a lot harder than just having your finger always on a jump button. Also, having your C-stick set to tilt makes it a lot easier to input a tilt, so you won't have any misinputs. There may be some other ways that you can hold your controller and pull off an attack cancel without having to change the buttons around, but this is a lot easier and it's for holding your controller the standard way. So if you want to do an attack canceled back air, we want to input a tilt attack in the opposite direction we're facing, and then instantly after that input, we jump and hold the direction we were originally facing. So it sounds easy, but what people struggle with is the fact that you have to have two distinct inputs and you have to separate these by only a couple frames. I had trouble with this at first, so here's some helpful info to figure out what you're doing wrong. If you're doing a regular back air, that means you're pressing C-stick and jump at the same time. If you're doing a forward air or neutral air, this means either you're inputting the C-stick and then jump too quickly that the tilt isn't turning you around, or if you're trying to do multiple attack canceled back airs, you aren't waiting long enough after you land so it buffers a tilt and then a jump right after it, so it still won't turn you around. If you're just doing a regular F tilt, that means you aren't jumping quick enough after your tilt input. So now that you can figure out what you're doing wrong, the next step is how to fix it. I recommend going into training mode and setting the speed to 2/3 just so you can better visualize how to do it, and you can still do the inputs at pretty much the same speed. Make sure you do it correctly, and if you aren't doing it correctly, see what move comes out and adjust based on the info I just gave earlier. Once you can consistently get it there, you can put the speed back to normal and just do it the length of whatever stage you're on, and make sure you go back and forth to also practice going in different directions. It's going to be tough at first, and if you do a wrong input, make sure to adjust for what you're doing wrong. The hardest part for me was having two distinct inputs while still being fast enough for it to work. The best thing I found is that right before my C-stick hits the notch, I start pressing jump and forward. This is because I find that if I wait until after my C-stick hits the notch, my jump input would be too slow. So doing it this way and thinking about it this way helps me get the perfect timing. Once you figure out what you're doing wrong and you find out your timing and a little trick to help you remember it, it just comes down to muscle memory. By figuring out what I was doing wrong and having my little trick to help me get the timing down, I was able to consistently attack cancel with only a couple hours of practice. Again, it's muscle memory, so if you practice really hard one day, make sure to still practice in the coming days to make sure you really nail it down. So, after you finally get your timing down between the inputs, it's time to practice what you just learned by implementing it. You can implement this in combos or kill confirms, and it should be super easy now that you just got the hardest part out of the way. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope this helped you because I know a lot of people struggle with attack canceling just because it's one of those things that have a tiny window to do your inputs. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching. Peace.